So good morning. And if I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Cover them all, Ken. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. Disheartened by a day of rain today, but I'll get past it, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I'm working today. So what do I care? Can't go out except, I'm supposed to I got to take the dogs for a walk, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But, if I have to work now the problem's going to be tomorrow, as long as it doesn't rain tomorrow, because as you know, tomorrow is Juneteenth.
Oh God.
And well,
Jesus.
it's Chelsea's birthday.
Happy birthday, Chelsea.
Wouldn't you like to have a national holiday on your birthday?
Yeah, legit one, yeah.
Now, listen, I'll take any holiday. I don't care. It's a great excuse to at least work a half day or not work it.
So Chelsea was born the same year Jessica was, so that means Chelsea is going to be 42.
Which means I'm really old.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
young, you're younger than me.
I am, let's see, what am I? 8 years younger than you, as a matter of
I
fact.
have
Let's see.
to tell you, yesterday afternoon, I went in to get my hearing tested.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. And he said, you've got some issues with the lower register and the upper register. And I said, huh? What?
Hmm.
Yeah. But so
Happy comeback, Dad.
I may, I may, I mean, they're freaking expensive hearing aids.
Yeah.
Jeez. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
A couple of years ago, I thought, after years I mean, I turned headphones up,
Yes.
jacked. I
Yeah.
thought it seemed like I was losing my hearing, especially in my left ear. So Miracle Ear had a thing where they would test your hearing for free. So I went to Miracle Ear here in
Yeah.
Waterville,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I went in and they did the hearing test. She goes, "Your hearing is absolutely fine." I said, "Huh?" Of course. And I thought, wow, maybe it's just me. It usually is, but I thought my hearing was bad.
Mhm.
So, and you remember, at one time I had a promotional deal with a hearing aid company when we were doing the show. I,
No.
I still have those somewhere, these little
Yeah,
things.
those are great, man. That's what
Right. And
I
I
tried them
don't,
on.
these things they're worth $10,000.
Oh yeah, I was quoted $7,400. But you know what? I mean, what's cool is they do work like earbuds, which fall out of my ear all the time.
Right.
And I did. You remember there was a hearing place across from WGAN,
Yes.
and so one time afterwards, I went over there, and this kid had to be like 18 years old. He tested me and said, "No, no, your hearing's fine." I said, "No, my hearing's not fine." And I have sat there, but I'll tell you, don't tell anyone this. I was in court last week in a hearing,
The, j-
and the lawyer was asking questions, and I couldn't hear the questions. And it's like I'm going, huh? When you can't hear the questions during the trial, that's a problem as a
I know.
trial lawyer.
I dispute the findings of the hearing test that I had, but what am I going to do? I
There you
mean,
go. There you go. Yeah.
what am I going to
Hey,
do?
at
So,
least you're not impotent. I mean, there's always that, right? Okay. So let's I have to start off by saying I
Christ.
did I did get, I'm assuming you're not impotent. I did, the doctor says I'm a very impotent man. Um, I got an email from Rob Baldacci, our good friend.
Yeah, I can't imagine why our good friend Rob Baldacci would be. I'm surprised he didn't fucking call you right after we dropped this
And
podcast.
in emotion, look,
Called his
so
brother an idiot, didn't
yeah,
you?
and that was a spur of the moment comment. And look, I know
Moron.
Joe, I've had a case with Joe Baldacci. He's not an idiot, he's a smart man. He is intelligent. You can't be a lawyer. Well, I shouldn't say you can't be a lawyer and be political.
That's
You're right.
the
I mean,
list of people who have graduated from the UMaine Law School is long, and sometimes I don't know whether it leaves me full of hope or hopeless. I'm not sure.
well, I know some attorneys who graduated from Harvard, and it's amazing to me.
I know.
You think Harvard's a great law school? Well, how did that
Anyway,
work?
so were you able to make peace with Rob over there?
I said to him, quote, I apologize. It was a spur of the moment thing. I don't think Joe's an idiot. I do think that a lot of people voted for him because they thought he was John. And I'm surprised he didn't win.
What,
First of all, we don't know if he won, but I'm surprised he didn't. I'm surprised he wasn't leading by a greater margin.
Well, one thing I know you can't do in regards to calling Joe Baldacci stupid is chalk it up to a youthful indiscretion because you ain't useful, youthful or useful. So, all right. So, Ken, sorry, as Ken's official spokesman, let me say I'm sorry. By the way, did you see all the social media love that we got the other day when I posted it was the 10th anniversary of my firing at
I
WGA?
did. I did. Thank you very much. And I said I liked your comment about me. Thank you. It was very nice. I get I listen. I get comments every single day. I was wearing you remember? Oh, I should put the WGN fleece that they gave us.
Yeah, I still have one. Yep.
only swag they ever gave us. And I was in the grocery store, and somebody says, "You're Ken from WGAN." I said, "Yes,
Yeah,
evidently I
it's right
am.
here.
Unless I stole this from somebody." Oh, I wish you were on. We just loved your show.
So we missed Saturday. I did anyway because I had a wedding. I don't know why you did. There was a Portland radio group reunion on Saturday.
Nobody invited me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you knew about it.
listen, he's got to remind me the day
It,
before.
it, it was the 13th, and there were some great pictures. Chuck Igo, go to Chuck's Facebook page. Chuck posted some pictures. Nate Hicks was there.
Oh
Greatest
man.
producer we ever had. Bald as a cue ball. I mean, bald as a cue ball. And
He's an accountant or is he a
now he's a
CPA?
certified public accountant. He made it.
Um, is D Money still there?
Who?
Oh, you didn't have D Money. That was after you left.
Yeah.
Danny Manag
Yeah.
Managhetti.
Manigat, yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, okay. Well, I love
But
I
some
call
old
him,
timers were there. Rick Johnson was there, Rico,
man.
and Chuck.
Listen, I got to tell Chuck, send me a text the day before. I'm
Yeah.
not going to remember.
Hopefully they'll have another one soon because I would love to have
I
gone.
thought they were doing this monthly.
No, that's the old group of radio guys that Chuck.
Oh, well, what was the I didn't get anything about the reunion.
You did, but let's move on.
Well, how did I get that
We
notice?
talked about it here on the podcast a few weeks ago, and you said you were going to go.
I thought it was the lunch we were talking about with the
No,
old
it was
people.
the reunion. It was at what is it, the Stockyard there in Westbrook or whatever it is there.
I would have gone to that.
Anyway, let's get on. We're 9 days out from the election.
Was Randy Kushbaum there?
I don't
I'm just curious.
I don't think Bob Adams was there. Gary
No.
Behigian was there in spirit. Jeff Wade was there in spirit, but no, Bob Adams and Randy Kirschbaum did not show their
All right,
faces.
all right. So,
They would fire you all over again if they did.
all right. So you
All
want to
right,
talk
so
about?
we're 9 days out from the election. Who's the Republican nominee for governor? Who's the Democratic nominee for governor?
Well,
Who's going to be the Democratic nominee for Congress? Did Joe Baldacci win or did he lose? We don't know because
we know who the Republican.
blows.
We know who the Republican nominee is going to be.
But Ken, we're 9 days out.
It's bad. I don't
This is
agree
a
with you.
goddamn clusterfuck that needs to be gotten rid of.
No, because I think that ranked choice voting is good. They just got to figure out a better way of doing it. This is ridiculous. Computers should be able to do this easily. I don't understand the problem. How hard is this? And we've never had this issue before. I mean, this is
The
really
queen of all elections in Maine, Shanna Bellows, who, by the way, was also on the ballot, says that we're going to know today. She sounds like Trump talking about when the war in Iraq is going to come to an end. How many times is that? 39 times? Is Shanna up to 39 times yet? They're both jokes.
so. There's a lot of criticism of California's 14-day delay by counting ballots, which is ridiculous. You can't say as long as it's postmarked, you have 14 days. I don't understand that. If you're going to do mail-in balloting, it better get to you on the day of the election. I'm sorry, I don't buy this postmark. Then it's going to be postmarked 14 days before the election day. And by the way, elections should be weekends. They should be Saturday and Sunday. You don't agree with that?
One day.
Yeah.
One day. All right, pick it. Want it to be Saturday? Fine.
Yeah.
One day. I'm sorry that you decided to go on vacation. I don't care. All right. Then you don't vote. We can't accommodate everybody, and that's what we tried to do here. Is we want to be inclusive and accommodate. You can't.
Well,
So what you need
Colorado's
to,
all
because
mail
we
order
get
now.
this. One day, you got to show up in person. You got to have your ID with you and prove who you are. And then you get to vote. And then you know what? We know that night who won. I was sitting here thinking the other day. I remember 1968, Nixon and Humphrey running for president, my father, a huge Richard Nixon supporter, we're in the basement of our house watching our old Magnavox 25-inch floor TV, of which I was the remote control because I would walk up to the TV and change the channel for my parents. And we knew before my father went to bed at 9:30 that Richard Milhouse Nixon won the presidency. That was 60 goddamn years ago. Now we don't 10 days, 9 days out, we don't know who
Yeah, but
won.
here's the thing, Mike. I don't like one person getting 35% of the vote and winning. I
What's
don't
wrong
like
with that?
that. I don't, because I don't want a minority. I want somebody who gets 51% to get the vote. I want a majority electing our governor. I'm okay with you saying we should have a runoff. If you say, look, fine, have a runoff 30 days later, fine. I'm okay with that. Okay. Top two people. I mean, what California does is open primary, top two candidates are in the election. I'm okay with that. Okay. I don't want 35%. I want somebody, I don't believe in plurality elections. I just don't. I don't.
Well, I have no problem with it, and there was never a problem with it in Maine until Paul LePage and Elliot Cutler, by the way. I forgot we got to get to him too again. But it's just, I find this to be a needless, pointless waste of time in deciding things. It's never been an issue before.
But because we haven't minded some, John Baldacci was elected twice by
I know,
plurality.
and we've had many primaries where a candidate hasn't gotten 50% of the
Right.
vote. And you know what? The sun came up the next morning and we had lunch.
Well, but see, I like more people running. So because I want a more of a,
You know,
I mean, I like Rick Bennett being I mean, I may vote for Rick Bennett,
well, yeah, and Rick Bennett, of course, is totally unaffected by this
right?
because he's an independent, and so therefore is not subject to this bullshit, which is fine.
So
Um,
and by the way, I think Platner's going to get the nomination. I'm
yeah,
thinking.
you think. By the way, Bennett voted in the Democratic primary.
Did
Um, yes, he did. That's been
Who
reported.
did he vote for?
I don't know.
Why did he vote in the
I think he
Democratic?
said he left the Democratic ballot blank for governor, but all kinds of people whining on my
Why
side of
did he
the.
vote in the? Is he a registered Democrat?
No, he's a registered nothing like I am. He's
Oh,
a
okay.
he's
Oh,
a
you can
mon-
vote on either
he's
side.
a mongrel. I could have voted in the Democratic primary too.
Well,
Um,
if I was an independent or Republican, and I would vote in the Democratic to vote for somebody that I wanted to get the nomination because it's easier to beat, right?
but a lot of people on my side of the aisle, oh, Rick Bennett, he's a rhino. Hey, you should be rooting on Rick Bennett because I think Rick Bennett has a chance to help Bobby Charles win the election. So you should be rooting
Bobby
on him.
Charles is not going to win the election. He's not going to win depending on who the candidate is. I will give you that. So
I remember these famous words 16 years ago when I only me and I was the only one on the mountaintop in southern Maine shouting out the virtues of Paul LePage and you making fun of me and saying, "Yeah, yeah, look at you, you fool." And what
no,
happened?
but if you remember,
Boy won.
I did not support the Democratic candidate in that election. I supported L.A. Cutler because I believe more pedophiles should be governors of the state of Maine.
Oh my God. So
Hey,
what
you got to admit that L.A. Cutler presented himself very well.
he did, and you know what? We countless times here and everywhere else, we've talked about how he was a friend of the show. He would come
Yeah,
on all the time. Whenever, you know how many times I got caught over one of my jobs at GAN, aside from hosting the morning news with Ken, was I was the public affairs guy. I had to do a public affairs show
yes,
every
I
week.
remember. Yeah,
And Elliot, when it got to be Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and I'd have no guest, I'd call Elliot, and he'd come in and do it with me and save my
absolutely.
ass.
Yeah.
He was great, and he was gracious to us. He was kind to us.
Even when I endorsed him, listened to our show and he called in. Remember? He called in
Yeah.
right away
And
and said,
didn't
and
he come to the Fourth of July party
he
once?
did. He absolutely did.
Oh
And he
my
said
God.
to you, the umbrella is large, Mike. If you want to join us,
No.
and so there you go. And who knew?
Now,
Who knew? Who knew?
yeah, you just don't know people. This is he's six times now, but this time he did not violate his parole, so he's back. So why does Elliot Cutler need to have internet access at this point in time?
Well, I want to know why he can't watch adult porn. I think that's a right of
This
everybody.
is just the sickest thing, and it's
I
quite
know.
an indictment on where we are.
So who's going to win the? I want to know who. What's your best guess? Who's going to win the Democratic nomination? Still, I think you said Hannah. You think Hannah's going to win?
Yeah, that was my flip, throw
I
it in
tend,
the air, and
I tend to agree with you because I think that Troy's and Shanna's votes go to Hannah's, and I don't. I think the people who voted for Shaw. Uh, I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody who did not vote for Shaw is going to vote for Shaw as a second, third, or fourth place choice. That's my guess. I
yeah,
could.
yeah. I guess. I mean, we're supposed to. We're doing this just before noon on Thursday, the 18th, and we're still sitting here. I'm checking my phone and checking Twitter to see if there's anything, and there's
Do you
nothing.
think Shelley's going to get the nomination?
I'll go out on a limb, Ken, and say, yeah, she's got a halfway decent
All
shot.
right.
We
So what do you think of the Iranian deal? I mean, Trump's a hero. He won the. Oh, he didn't really win the war, did he? Because now Iran has learned that they can control these Straits of Hormuz anytime they want and charge whatever they want. And what a cluster! You know what this has
Yeah,
been.
it is. As somebody who's voted for Donald Trump 3 times now, and who's you want to call me MAGA, feel free to do so. Um, I was totally against this war from the start, totally against any aggression here from the start. Thought it was a huge mistake. Still think it's a huge mistake. At least when I went to work this morning, the gas station in Augusta on Western Avenue that has the cheapest gas around, for the first time, it's under $4 a gallon. That's great. This hurt Trump to me in a lot of ways. Most of all, it hurt him here domestically, and it hurt the Republican Party domestically because people vote with their pocketbooks at the end
Absolutely
of
right. It's the economy, stupid.
it's the economy stupid. Bill Clinton coined, or
No, it's carve out.
Carville said that. The senile old fucker that he is now. But anyway, it was a huge mistake by Trump. I don't think. I think he legitimized Iran more than they needed to be legitimized, and
Absolutely.
let them. And I know, and look, Israel and Netanyahu. I've been a big supporter. Certainly support the Jews of the world. You can, I'll back you up. But
Thanks.
yeah, there comes a point where I need to back off from that a little bit
He
too.
screwed. He screwed over Netanyahu. This is
Yeah.
Donald Trump is great. I mean, Donald Trump had to make a deal because he was getting killed domestically, and this is what you learn about Donald Trump. You don't rely on him because guess what, Israel? Israel didn't even get to see the terms of the agreement. They didn't even see it before. I mean, it's like, and good because Netanyahu should not be. He's done. He will not be the prime minister of Israel by the end of the year. There's no doubt about it. But Chuck Todd, and I know you may not have the greatest.
I let you have your Chuck Todd moment, so go ahead.
One of the things Chuck Todd said that I thought was fascinating was, let me see if I get it right, that if you really believe in Make America Great First, it was becoming an ally that other countries could rely upon and need us, and we were indispensable to them. That made us great. They couldn't live without us. And what we have taught the world is you can't rely on us. Learn to do it on your own, and that will hurt us in the long run because now we don't have the influence and the power we had. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's an
I
interesting
think there's
theory.
a fine line here. There's a delicate balance to walk. You walk the tightrope with this, and Todd's comments aside, and I don't. That's not the craziest thing Chuck Todd's ever said. We just did this. This didn't go well in any way. So, speaking of Nazis, let's talk about Graham Platner, shall we? Is Graham Platner a legitimate oyster farmer to you, Ken, or an illegitimate oyster farmer to you?
I believe it's an oyster farmer. I think that's just a stupid tack to take against them. I
They
look,
fact they Channel 8 fact checked the main
hurt.
in their claim that he's a fake oyster farmer.
And here's the bottom line. There's so many things to attack Plattner about.
Oh, I
This
know.
is the one you want to attack him on? Really? I
Well,
mean, and by the way,
it's a minor league issue.
right, but understand when you make allegations against them that turn out to be either frivolous or not true, it undermines those things you can criticize. And by the way, I a woman came up to me at the grocery store this morning because I had to go get dog food. And she said to me, how are politics going these days? She actually worked for Hannaford's, and she said, And I said, well, she goes, I voted for Janet. I could not pull the plug for Platner. And she goes, and character matters. Character matters. I'm not voting for him. This, people, Democrats don't that are rallying behind him and defending him do not understand how our chance to beat Susan Collins, if you feel that's important enough, has gotten destroyed by Graham Platner.
Well,
He may still win.
Susan Collins thanks the woman who came up to you at Hannaford this morning for her support.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's true, and but there's so many things you can attack. And by the way, that have we heard everything yet? Just wait till Labor Day rolls around.
Oh yeah, we've heard nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
exactly.
they've strategically are going to plan this, but you're right, Ken. Labor Day is traditionally, of course, the day that Americans start paying attention and when campaigns really begin,
Yeah,
because we're all back to school, where kids are all back to school, where summer's over, vacations are over, we're paying attention. In radio, we always talked about how listening habits completely changed in the summer because of these responsibilities, and then in the fall those responsibilities return and regular listeners come back to where they
yeah.
were. So same thing is true for politics. And exactly, they're going to hold off anything big. Not going to drop. It's the America's 250th birthday, which we'll get to in a second. And there's, we're all having hot dogs and apple pie and Chevrolet and the fireworks and the Ken and Linda 4th of July party and all of that stuff, and we aren't paying attention. So you're exactly right. Labor Day is the day when this is really going to get
And
good.
let's never forget October surprises. Thank you, Mr.
October
Comey.
surprise.
Really appreciate you, Mr. Comey. Why does Donald Trump hate Mr. Comey when he got him elected in 2016? I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either. So let's
But,
not.
86, that discussion.
Those people, I don't know if you have them where you are in Freeport, but we have a group here in Waterville that come out. I don't know which day. They hang out at the Elm Plaza
Oh,
Shopping,
yeah, that. Oh,
the
yeah.
86 to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
47
yeah.
people. And yesterday, on Main Street, not downtown Main Street, but off Main Street, there was a whole, I think it's because there's a reproductive health clinic right nearby. There was a bunch of women, they were all women, out there protesting reproductive health rights.
Right.
On Wednesday afternoon at like 2 o'clock, it must be nice to be able to be out with a sign. And do you need a life or what if you are one of those people?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So America's 250th birthday is coming, and Ken, the state of Maine has basically told the rest of the United States, we hate America because we are not going to participate in the Great American State Fair. What is up with that?
Well, because it's a campaign function. It's Donald Trump being a narcissist.
What if Joe Biden was doing it? Of
I wouldn't. Well, would the state of Maine join it? Probably, sure.
course they would.
But Joe Biden wouldn't have made it about him.
It's the
Donald Trump makes it about him.
250th birthday of America,
But
man.
that's the point. He's making. Look at his birthday. Look at his birthday celebration. I mean, it's
I didn't
all
even
about
see it.
Donald Trump.
Well, it's his birthday.
It's all, but no, nobody
Shouldn't it
gives a.
be about Donald Trump if it's his birthday?
Did Joe Biden have an arena out on the South Lawn to celebrate his birthday?
No, he should have, though. How about the fight? How about the UFC at
That's
the White House?
insane. That's
Wasn't that
insane.
great?
You watched it?
I watched part of it,
Oh, for the love of God.
and
You
I'm not
know,
even a UFC fan, but I thought it was absolutely
what
as
president has
American
ever
as
been so
America can be.
all he cares about is a legacy. His name on the Kennedy Center, the Arc de Triomphe, the ballroom. Everything Donald Trump does, it's about Donald Trump. Remember, it's not what he builds; it's what he knocks down and tries to. Look at the reflecting pool, which is filled with algae, and now I cleaned it up. Have you seen pictures of the reflecting pool?
Yeah, because it
It
it got
ain't cleaned up, pal. Ain't cleaned up.
he tried.
By the way, did you mention that the Obama Library is opening?
Where? Chicago?
Of course, and every president except for one is going to be in attendance.
Well, he should go.
No, nobody. They shouldn't even invite him. He wouldn't go anyway. He hates Obama. He
No,
hates
he
Obama.
doesn't. Whose funeral? Who died where Trump and Obama were sitting next to each other, talking away like they were old friends? And when what's her face, Kamala Harris turned around, Obama snapped to attention and stopped talking to Trump. And as soon as she turned back around, they started chit chatting with each other. That's bullshit. He should go.
Well, anyway, so no, I don't. I'm not going to go. I'm not supporting anything that is Donald Trump, the narcissist, getting more attention, as if anything he does has anything to do with the welfare of America or making America great
All right.
again.
Speaking of America, we have the World Cup going on here right now. We have matches going on at Gillette Stadium, which they're calling Boston Stadium during the World Cup. The United States is going to play tomorrow afternoon against Australia out in Seattle. And so here in New England, in Boston, the Scots have come to Boston. Scotland has invaded because their team's playing there. And it's been hilariously funny to see these people. They dried up Boston literally,
How
Ken.
do you? How does the Samuel Adams?
They drank all the beer in Boston one
How does
day.
that happen? How does that? How does Samuel Adams run out of beer?
Not be prepared for this. It's like, what's that guy's name that owns Sam Adams? I can't. Jim something or other. Jim
Yeah.
Coke.
Not
Jim
Jim Beam, but
Jim Cokoch. Anyway, because I met him once. Why doesn't he? Like why isn't he in the brewery like a month before saying, "All right, we're good. Scotland is coming. Make all the beer you can and don't stop until."
yeah.
So the
These
Scots
people
have come.
know.
They
These
took
people.
over Fenway Park. The Tartanami took over Fenway Park this week at It was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
The chanting, the singing. And then did you see the Norwegians who are also here? They're going up an escalator at the garden
Yes, yes,
and they're
like
doing
rowing.
the rowing
Yeah, I loved it. I
Viking
loved
hats
it.
on. So my point here is I mentioned this and I've seen countless videos of people from all over the world who have come to America and professed what? Their love for America. It's great to see one guy eating barbecue for the first
Oh
time
yeah, I
in
love that.
Texas.
Oh, I love that.
I thought
Oh, one guy went to Chick-fil-A. To Chick-fil-A. I loved it.
America.
Listen, America is the greatest country in the world. Let's hope that we don't have to rebuild it in 2028. That's all I
I
got.
don't think I don't think that's the case at all, Ken. I think we're fine. And I haven't I'll tell you, I haven't watched 1 second of the World Cup because I'm not a big soccer guy,
Oh
as
my,
you know.
yeah,
But if the United States gets past Australia, I might have to tune in. But I think this is great for the country,
absolutely.
just to have this happen and have people from all over come in thousands, not just tourists and stuff, but these are dedicated, committed people who have come. They're going to be here for weeks
I know
watching
it's
this
unbelievable, and
and
I,
how they're enjoying and how we're enjoying them. And the other thing I was great that was great to hear was not the just fact that they're eating our barbecue and drinking our beer. That's good, but the hospitality they say they've been shown by Americans.
yeah, absolute American people at the core are great. They are. We forget who we used to be in many times,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and
I mean, I remember I go back to when Boston bombing and the Yankees had a Boston Strong out in left field and the Lewiston Strong. I mean, we come together. We sometimes we are so much better than we sometimes act, but sometimes
oh,
we act
I'll
as good
give,
as we are,
I'll give you that.
you know.
I'll
And
give you that.
look, listen, I think I don't, and no offense to people like ice hockey and soccer, 1-0 is not a sports activity I'm going to watch because
Well, hockey, a 1-0 game is a hell of a lot better than a 1-0 game in soccer, I can
I know
tell you.
it's just like kind of back and
As a
forth.
huge hockey fan,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But before we finish up today, is
Yeah.
there anybody you want to call stupid today before we go? Hmm?
No, and I want to say how much I love Rob Baldacci and his brother John.
I can't wait for Rob to bring BB Buell to the 4th of July party so she can.
No, she's out of town.
Oh, damn, I won't get shit
Out
on.
of town. Yes, so you are free. I did see a mention of potentially a +1. I'm holding my breath.
Well, there's this woman that I've had a couple of dates with who I kind of like, and
Would you really bring her? if you want her to like you.
I haven't I haven't asked her about this yet, but we'll see. There's 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks before the 4th of July as we do this. So,
Hey,
this
listen,
could
we
this
listen.
could go in one direction or the other. Who knows?
The fact that you know us could be a plus, right? And Linda could embrace her. It's a woman, I assume. Not that it would be wrong
It,
if it
it,
was a man. Nothing
it's
wrong
a
with that.
it's a woman, and she's a retired nurse.
Well, so if
So that
somebody falls and hits their head like it
right.
happened a couple of years ago.
Yep, she's got control of it. Don't worry.
And by the way, just so you we have some identifiable concerns. Phil Harriman often comes.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to feel politically ostracized.
Are you kidding? After all these years, I've
Uh,
been the skunk at the picnic every single year.
but people love you. And that's
Thank
the
you, Ken.
point.
I
Because
love you, man.
at the end of the day, conservatives tolerate me and liberals tolerate you. Right?
Indeed.
All right, my friend. So we'll see you next week. Thursday seems to be a better time for us. So
I'll be here for you, brother.
you take care, my friend.
Thanks, Ken.